I'm blanking tamping. So he has to lift his hand up to try and fend off the would-be tackler. He then gets the timing of it wrong. It also meant that the whole of Wales was celebrating as well. Yay! Well, it's a sad day on the farm today because it's the last in the current series of Whistle Watch. And you know what? I'm actually going to miss you all popping by here. But anyway, we've got a lot to get through. And let's start with that wonderful game last week between France and Scotland out in Paris, which was going to decide where the Six Nations Championship would end up. And it ended up here in Wales. Yay! Let's get into my favourite bit of Whistle Watch, your questions. And the first one is from Jeff Stevens. Great series, Nigel, but please answer the query I put on last week. Oh, sorry, Jeff, I must have missed that. Who is the most intimidating or scary player you officiated? You know, there hasn't been one, even though some players are more intimidating because they may be 6'8", you know, 140 kgs, then they're going to be intimidating. But because of the value of respect in rugby, encourages them to be respectful to the referee and his decisions. And actually, to be honest with you, I'm sometimes a bit more scared of the 5'5" scrum half than I am of the 6'8" second row. Nigel, after the penalty is awarded and the team chooses to kick for goal, if the kicker were to instead kick to touch, would they get the throw in? Once you've indicated that you are going to go for post, you must go for the post. So you can't then aim for the touchline or aim for the corner. But, and here is the but, if you actually do kick for the post and the wind takes it and blows it into touch, then you would get the line out and you would get the throw in, but you can't do that deliberately. You've got to try and aim for the post. Good question. What's Nigel Ref Owens' opinion on skew scrum feeds? As far as I know, it's still a rule, law, to make it competitive for the opposing front row, but I rarely see this blown. I agree with you. Myself included, we haven't been good enough at refereeing the scrum feed. It's in law still. It should be a credible feed, so it should be as pretty much close to the centre of the scrum as it can be. So I do think that's something that all of us as referees need to be better at, so I agree. Nigel, given recent world events, do you agree no matter who won the Six Nations, Cymru and Byth, the true winner is the games being allowed to take place at all during these hard times? Well, the true winner is Cymru and Byth, of course. But I do agree with you, yeah. Rugby was the winner, and particularly when a lot of people are finding it very, very difficult. Watching a rugby game, watching the Guinness Six Nations really does lift the spirits. So great work to everybody involved in getting the games played. A little bit of fun now, the Six Nations Awards. Now here we go. The best lid, best haircut. Ellie Skenge, Hamish Watson, Johnny Hill. Tough ones to choose, so I'll leave you decide on that one. Let me know which one you think has the best lid. Best no try? I'm going to answer this one. Rees-Zammit, for sure. Best referee ruck performance? Roman Poit, without a doubt. Head first into the ruck. Best celebration? Oh, it's got to be Stuart Hogg in Paris on the weekend. Plus, it also meant that the whole of Wales was celebrating as well. Yay! Best referee review show? I'll leave you answer that one. And don't forget, the Women's Six Nations tournament kicks off this weekend. So, thankfully, we don't have long to wait for some more quality international rugby. Let's get into some of the talking points from last weekend. Finn Russell, red card. Now, what you can't do as a ball carrier is you can't lead with a forearm and raise it up into a player, because if you raise a forearm and you make contact with the head or the neck directly, then that would result in a red card. Now, my humble opinion is that Finn Russell was maybe a little bit unlucky here. The French player tackles Finn Russell upright, which means Finn Russell now his dynamics of a handoff has had to change. So he has to lift his hand up to try and fend off the would-be tackler. And by doing this, he then gets the timing of it wrong. Now, how many of you saw the London Irish Bath game on the weekend? 2 red cards in the Gallagher Premiership again. and 2 of them, I have to say, were probably correct. We have a forearm. So when we just spoke about the Finn Russell incident, this is very similar but different. Now this defender actually sticks the forearm up bleeding. He's not trying to push a player off because he doesn't even have the ball anyway. He lifts the forearm up and goes into contact with the player's neck. That is a red card. And then the same player that got the yellow card in the first half then does another offence. He comes in late and barges somebody in the back, which referee Craig Maxwell-Cleese deems that to be a yellow card, and because he got the yellow card in the first half, which actually turns into a red. Now this year's Six Nations will be very memorable for us here in Wales, but this year's Six Nations will also be remembered for the most amount of red card in the Guinness Six Nations tournament. And I have to say that at least 3 of them, maybe 4, but at least 3 of them were correct decisions and deserved red cards. Now, for the good of the game, for the future of the game, and for player safety and all concerned, from the very, very top of the international level all the way down to our local grassroots community game, it's important that we deal with acts of foul play that warrants red cards. Hopefully, it will do some good and will help change player behaviour on the field. I don't know if any of you have noticed, but you should have by now that I am Welsh. I'm proud of it. And some of you have been asking a little bit more about this beautiful country. Let me take you through a few words that we only use here in Wales. And when you say them to people abroad, they ask you, what does that mean? The word cwtch is Welsh in cuddle. It's a bit more special than a cuddle. It means more than a cuddle. So next time you're giving your partner a cuddle, wherever you are in the world, give them a cwtch. Achafi. Achafi is a Welsh word for, oh, that's horrible, oh, that's disgusting. Achafi. Popty ping. A lot of people ask what a microwave is in Welsh is, and if you ask most Welsh people, they'll all say it's popty ping, because when time is up, it goes ping. Mitching. Oh no, I did this a few times. Mitching is when you become truant from school. When you don't go to school, you go on the mitch. Mitching with your mates. Chopsing. No, we Welsh are good at chopsing. Chopsing is when somebody's got plenty to say. They give you a bit of chops, they give you a bit of talk back. Buzzing, well, that can mean 2 things actually. Buzzing means you're buzzing, you're like a busy bee, you're buzzing, you're full of beans. Or buzzing can also mean, oh, that's buzzing, that's horrible, it's disgusting. You probably would have heard this one on Gavin and Stacey a few times. I love this word, tamping. I am tamping, which means I'm furious, I'm angry, I'm blanking tamping. Iechyd. This is a good one. When you have a few beers or a glass of wine in France, they go chin chin. In England, they go cheers or cheers. In Wales, we go Iechyd. Good health. You raise your glasses and you go Iechyd. Cymru am byth. 2 right. Wales forever. Well, that's it then. Well, it's been emotional, but I've enjoyed. I hope you have too, but that's all we've got time for, and it's been a very, very enjoyable few weeks. Oh, hello there. Nice to see you again. This camera, isn't it? Quiet. I'm speaking. I'm straighter than that one. One of the greatest. A true... Just heard that, Dan, and the cow's f***ing herself. If that goes out, we're all in trouble here. You would love to have a ride on my tractor, wouldn't you? I'll do that again. Hope you get some sense out of that. Well, who knows? Maybe we can do this again sometime. But until then, in Bugs Bunny's famous words, when he always used to sign off when I used to watch the cartoons when I was a kid, that's all, folks.